Nairobi on Monday. No matatus, empty bus stages, and thousands of stranded Kenyans forced to walk to work. The Mandamano protests are back, and the transport sector has officially shut down.
It's now safe to say fuel is now expensive enough to qualify as a luxury lifestyle choice.
Jana niliona kwamba bei ya mafuta imepanda. Juzi nilisikia deni ya Kenya imepita zaidi ya trilioni 10. Najua hiyo namba ni kubwa sana, hata wengine hawaeleki. But you know what that means? Ni kama uko na jirani, na huyu jirani yako na deni yako. Kidogo kidogo ameenda kwa jirani mwingine anakopa. Anaenda kwa M-Shwari anakopa. Anaenda supermarket anakopa. Anafunga simu yake ya Safaricom, anafungua hiyo ya Airtel anakopa. Hata nyumbani hawezi rudi saizi juu Shylock anamtafuta. Lakini ukiona huyu jamaa, unaona amevaa suti mpya, ameng'ara, viatu iko sawa, ameenda kwa kinyozi, amepaka hiyo kitu wanaume wanapenda kupaka hapa, amepiga line cut hapa, na ako na deni yako. Ukiona huyu jamaa utafanyaje? Ukimwona utafanyaje? That's what is happening here.
Njeri, Njoroge, the woman at the center of the 17.2 billion shilling oil importation saga, has disclosed exclusively to Citizen TV details of what she claims a plot by influential government officials to dispossess her of the fuel consignment.
Well, Anne Njeri also disclosed details of meetings she had with government officials and well-connected individuals, saying the persons she met include a cabinet secretary, a member of parliament who's a close confidant to the president, and a Kenya Ports Authority official. Now, the embattled businesswoman says she has now been summoned to surrender herself from her hideout to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters in order to secure a police bond despite being the complainant in the case.
When you look at the fuel pump today, you aren't just paying for petrol. You are paying for the ghosts of broken promises. Remember late 2023, when a mysterious businesswoman named Njeri claimed she single-handedly imported a 17 billion shilling oil consignment to save us from dry pumps? We were promised that state-backed oil deals would lower the cost of living. Instead, we just woke up to the worst price shock in Kenyan history. Today on News Mummy, we connect the dots between deep state oil mysteries and why your wallet is completely empty.
Nafanya biashara ya commodities, ninafanya biashara ya oil and gas and commodities, and also dealing with the minerals, na hiyo ndio kazi yangu kwa muda wa miaka 33.
So, how did the events that catapulted her to headline news begin?
Nikakutana na Ruseng'ang'a ambaye anafanya kazi na port, na akaniambia ni introduce kwa mtu wake anaitwa Kaguru, Joseph Kaguru. So kutoka hapo tulitoka port na akatuambia, akanipa namba ya Kaguru,
Sema port inamaanisha KPA.
KPA. Akanipatia namba ya Kaguru, Kaguru akatupatia appointment ya kutana na yeye the following day. Tukakutana na yeye. Wakati tulikutana na yeye, aliniambia ya kwamba kama niko na shipping document, nikamuonyesha kwa simu, lakini sikumpatia saa hizo, nilikataa. Kaniambia nimpe pesa namba, nikakata. So alitu advise tukiwa na PE wangu ya kwamba nimuone Churchill ama president mwenyewe ndio ataweza kusaidia kuhusu ya mafuta.
Let's move to this story that is making waves in the headlines, that the Kenya Ports has refuted claims surrounding the importation of 17 billion shillings consignment of diesel by businesswoman Njeri. KPA chairman Benjamin Tayari says that contrary to the claims, the diesel belongs to the government and was shipped in by MS Aramco Trading, Fujari, which was contracted by the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum.
In late 2023, the bizarre saga of Njoroge emerged, the woman who claimed ownership of a massive 100,000 metric ton oil consignment worth £17 billion. The government claimed that cargo belonged to Galana Energies under their highly braised state-backed government-to-government oil deal with Saudi Arabia. We were told this elite G2G arrangement would protect the shilling, eliminate middlemen, and guarantee cheap fuel for the common wananchi. It was marketed as our economic salvation. But whistleblowers warned it was a smoke and mirrors game for the politically connected. Today, the smoke has cleared, and the salvation is nowhere to be found.
Yet we know that there was official communication requesting a contract review and price adjustment following the Middle East crisis. The other trio had resigned, yet they were forced to resign during the Easter weekend while still under police custody. Then the three accused persons would be charged in a court of law for various offenses. The three international oil companies, IOCs, in the so-called G2G arrangements are Saudi Aramco, they supply diesel and Super Petrol; Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, they supply diesel and jet fuel; and Emirates National Oil Company, ENOC, they supply Super Petrol. These IOCs supply and distribute fuel through 6 hand-picked local oil marketing companies. But what was being hidden from the public was the real culprits of this scandal. The team leader of this oil scandal is William Ruto, Felix Koskei, and the abroad-based expert, the CS for Energy and Petroleum, Mr. Opio Wandai. And a local company, which is a nominee of the International Oil Companies IOCs awarded under the so-called G2G framework. While the crisis in the Middle East brought about the conflict of the USA and Iran, William Ruto saw a big business opportunity to fleece Kenyans, as he has always done.
Fast forward to today, May 2026. The dust has settled on the scandals. But look at the pump. EPRA has just announced the new prices, and they are catastrophic. Diesel has shattered all historical records, surging by over 46 shillings in a single month to retail at a painful 242.92 litres in Nairobi. Super Petrol has shot up to £214.25. If you live in Mandera, you are coughing up a staggering £265.10 for a single litre of diesel. Global shocks are blamed, but the bitter truth is that the state has completely removed the subsidy on petrol, leaving you entirely unprotected.
I have been stating this and I want to repeat again. The G2G arrangement, Kenyans can now clearly see that it is a scam at best. And I want to state here again, the G2G arrangement is a kiosk for senior government officials. The same people you see claiming to reduce this or that are the same people who are the owners of G2G. In fact, 75% of the imports of fuel benefit our leaders directly. I'm requesting our leaders, now it is time to tame your greed. Kenyans cannot accommodate global supply shocks and also accommodate your greed at the same time. one has to give way for the other. And you must give way. The greed of the G2G cabal must come to an end now, because Kenyans can now see that fuel in terms of global prices was lower in 2022, yet Kenyans were paying cheaper at the pump. And there was no G2G then. Now when there is G2G, which supposedly we are lied to that it has any benefit to Kenyans. When we have G2G, when we have cheaper global oil prices than 2022, prices in Kenya are unprecedented. Finally, I want to request my brothers and sisters from the media, do your analysis on the regional oil prices, and you realize that among our regional economies, Kenya is the highest in terms of fuel prices. Uganda, that uses our port, is selling both Super Petrol and diesel cheaper than Kenya now. Tanzania, they are selling cheaper. Ethiopia, Super Petrol and diesel is actually below 150 shillings for both. In Ethiopia, Rwanda is also cheaper than us.